Hello, everybody, and welcome to Swampy Comics. I'm Swampy, and today we're going to be doing the tier list for the comics that I picked up for the weeks of December 24th and 31st of 2025. There wasn't too much that came out the last week on the 31st, so I jammed these all together and gave myself a week break for the holidays. But we got a lot to get into, so let's just jump right into it. First up, we got Absolute Martian Manhunter number 7, written by Dennis Camp with art and colors by Javier Rodriguez and letters by Hassan Otsmain Al How. The critically acclaimed Absolute series comes back with issue 7, and we're kind of off to a bummer of a status quo. John is separated from his wife. It seems the whole crazy mind war that happened in Middleton in issues 5 and 6, or all throughout the first 6 issues. What am I kidding? Um, Seems to be a lingering, stinging, fading memory in a lot of people's heads, and it seems like John's the only one who remembers it. Um, and as he goes into work, we get a sense of new disturbing forces at play. We're seeing new patterns behind things at his work, which can only be pretty foreboding. We're getting hints that the White Martian is hiding in John's son. Not only that, but the end of the issue, we get a glimpse into a weird kind of conspiratorial hit squad of some sorts. At the end, I don't know, some weird group is giving somebody a faux alien abduction kind of experience against their will, to be clear. But yeah, we're playing with a lot here, and I love this series. It's been fun throughout the first 6 issues, and starting off this new arc, I have nothing but high hopes for this. We're throwing this in A tier for sure. What a great issue. Keeping up with the Absolute books. Next up, we have Absolute Superman number 14. The Battle of Kansas is coming to its finale. This issue is written by Jason Aaron, with art by Rafa Sandoval, colors by Ulysses Ariola, and letters by Becca Carey. And man, Cal is really up against it here. He's really up against it. He's fighting Ross Al Ghul, who's wielding a big kryptonite sword, and he's getting the crap kicked out of him. Brainiac has hacked Soul, and Soul is about to kill the people of Smallville against his will. And Soul only seems one solution, and he just completely deletes his programming, leaving him to be no longer a companion for Clark, or Kal-El, I should say. I keep on wanting to call him Clark, but he ain't Clark yet. He's just Kal-El right now. Um, but leaving Kal-El without a companion, and now just a tool wielding the kryptonite dust as a sword to fight Ra's al Ghul, and eventually defeating him and handing him to the people of Pakistan to be served justice by them. Um, all the while, Lois and Jimmy are reporting on this thing, kind of fitting into their classic roles. Um, I thought this was a great crescendo. I mean, this first story arc has been a long one. I mean, from issues 1 to 14, I consider it all just one arc. I mean, it's really all come to this, and I really enjoyed this showdown. I feel like it went down as exactly as it should, and I can't wait to see what is in store for Cal El next, like where this is gonna go. Um, and man, this issue ended with quite the tearjerker. I'll say um, that whole thing of him trying to go find Ma Kent and her being passed away, and she was trying to knit him that suit. It was such a beautifully sad moment. Him just floating there, holding it in the air, crying. Wow, what a great end to this arc. Um, yeah, beautiful. Uh, Gonna throw this again in A tier. It was really great. But next up, we got Absolute Wonder Woman number 15. This is written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman, colors by Jordi Belair, and letters by Becca Carey. Yeah, here we go. Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman meeting up. Diana travels to Gotham City to investigate the Mark of Hecate appearing there, and comes across this Bruce that she's heard so much about. In fact, she doesn't just come across him; she looks for him. She lures him in with a big old magicy bat symbol flying above the city. I loved that. That was so good, and I just love also that these two got along. Like Bruce is fascinated by Diana and all her obvious mysticism, and Diana's fascinated by this human being that has no powers whatsoever. And they have this really just strong, immediate respect for each other. I was really hoping we weren't going to go like the catty butting heads route. Um, that's just so tired and typical, and I really like the way this is handled. I really like that we got a kind of peek into Diana's origin because as they're searching for this murder cult and find one of their rituals ongoing, it seems that they're trying to raise a golem. And Diana is unfortunately susceptible to whatever magic they're using because it turns out she herself is a golem, meaning she was created from clay or, some seems like her origin is a little like a certain origin from mainline Wonder Woman. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, this whole thing leads to a really cool fight scene between a possessed Diana trying to hold back, um, and Bruce trying to deal with that in a non-lethal fashion and trying to get her to come back to herself. It was really good. This was beyond. This exceeded every expectation I had for this meetup. Just an absolute classic story in the absolute line. This one is a great one. I hope absolute Batman fans are also picking this up because this is like a absolute Batman 16.5 issue, if you will. Uh, Man, I can't wait for Batman's Diana crossover. And her giving him a gift, basically another gadget for his bat belt, I thought was pretty cool. This was just all in all a triumph. I mean, this creative team just does it again and again. S tier, without a doubt. I loved this issue. Next up, we got DCKO. All Fight Month continues with DCKO's Red Hood versus the Joker. This is written by Josh Williamson and Scott Snyder, with pencils by Dustin Nguyen, and also pencils by Giuseppe Camuncoli. Colors by John Calise, inks by Mark Morales, and letters by Steve Wands. Um, yeah, Red Hood versus the Joker. What I thought would be extremely brutal. I mean, it was brutal to a certain degree. Was ended up being a lot more restrained than I thought, and more of a character study of a Red Hood in general, and about him trying to break away, you know, from his identity being linked to Batman and the Joker so much, in that he's Batman's failed Robin basically, and the one Robin that the Joker killed. Um, yeah, he. I don't know. The fight. This issue wasn't really about the fight, and I'm okay with that up to a point. We'll get to that. But I did really like that this was a cool character study of Jason Todd, the Red Hood, and like the kind of person he wants to be in the future, and kind of on a metatextual level. It seems like the kind of person he wants to be presented to like readers as, like, I don't know. It was cool. It was good. I did enjoy it. But when it comes down to who won this fight, I was really confused that Red Hood walked off into the sunset and Joker's heart beating, so he starts beating again, so he takes the best two out of three. Um, does this mean Jason Todd is leaving the Red Hood mantle behind, so Red Hood is dead and Joker lives again? I don't know. And this was good. The art kicked ass. The look on Jason Todd was fun. The resolution of Joker winning because his heart started beating again. I don't quite understand that. Somebody's gonna have to explain that to me, or they're gonna have to explain it later in DC KO, or we'll just leave it behind. Who knows? But that confusion is going to throw this issue probably at a B level. I'm thinking like it was like a B minus. I wasn't too impressed with this issue, but it wasn't bad by any sense of the imagination. Just wasn't my favorite of the all fight months. But let's move on. Next up, we got Detective Comics number 1104. This is written by Tom Taylor with art and colors by Mikkel Janin, inks by Wayne Fowker, and letters by Wes Abbott. We have The Courage That Kills Part 4 here, where Bruce is on a ticking clock trying to figure out what's going on behind this virus that is causing not only himself, but whoever it infects to just completely lose their sense of fear. And he's in the pursuit of this figure, the Gold Lion, who seems to have links to Scarecrow, and so Batman is hunting down the Scarecrow and finds him in a field with a bunch of henchmen, and you know unwisely just goes and starts to beat the crap out of him. Um, and yeah, trying to think like the Bat family comes into it at some point, but I'm having a brain fart into what capacity. But that's okay. I read a lot of books into the lead up to this video, so some details are gonna fall through the cracks. But man, this Detective Comics run is killing it so far. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Another great chapter in this really cool story, and I can't wait to get more out of this Lion character as a villain. Seems like he has a lot of potential to you know be an actual good villain outside of Batman's classic cast. Anyway, we'll give Detective Comics 1104. What am I thinking? I'm feeling like a strong B on this one. That's good. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Next up, we got Escape number 5. This is by Rick Remender, written by Rick Remender, with art and colors by Daniel Acuna and letters by Russ Wooten. In this issue, we have Milton, our hero, still being helped out by some residents of the city he was bombing in issue 1. And these enemy soldiers whose territory he's in, they know that he survived and they are looking for him. And this issue deals with this Gestapo of sorts showing up to this man's house who's hiding Milton. And yeah, wow, pretty intense issues. This really reminded me of the opening scene of Inglorious Bastards. Just a really intense interrogation about intent and suspicion, about betraying or feeling betrayed by your own countrymen, um, trying to do the right thing when there's so few right moves to make, um, and even getting the view from the soldiers in the opening of this issue as they're talking about, oh, I miss this. This place used to be over here. Or I was hitting on this girl at this bar, but it's all busted up now. And oh man, I miss the old days. And their commander saying like, what are you talking about? Like, you see what the world is to us right now. We're sitting on top of the mountain. Everywhere we go, people give us what we want, and they look at us with fear. These are the good days, and you will look back on missing this far more than any baker or barmaid than you ever missed before. And I thought that was hauntingly poignant and dark, in a real way, which is really good. And this whole situation. Luckily, these people that are hiding Milton do successfully make it out of it, but they got to kick him out. He has to leave for their own safety, and Milton goes to start preparing for a one-man mission to take out this Titan gun that's in the middle of the city. The it was his mission in the first place, and by God, he's gonna see it through. Man, I'm so glad I started buying this series. This was great. This might have been the best issue of a great series so far. Yeah, S tier, without a doubt. That was captivating and compelling and just so good. So good. Read Escape, everybody. What are you doing? Next up, we got The Expanse, A Little Death, number 3. This is written by Andy Diggle and Wes Chatham, with art by Francesco Pisa and colors by Sarah Stern. Um, Amos is, in self defense, just killed a man. And boy, oh boy, his criminal buddies are not happy about it, and they are hunting our man down. All while Holden is dealing with some, talks that aren't going well between two corporations that want the mining rights to this settlement. And yeah, all that's intercut with Amos on the run, doing what Amos does best, taking dudes out and saving his own skin, um, usually because he's run afoul of somebody saving somebody else's. Uh, this is so kick-ass. I just loved the all the action sequences with Amos, him swimming underwater and fooling the guys by turning on the turbine and getting them all chopped up, getting thrown through the windshield, but then hitting the gas on the vehicle to crash it into a bunch of hydrogen tanks, causing a gigantic explosion. Um, this was awesome. This was awesome. Um, it's going to end next issue, and I'm bummed. But the benefit of 4 issues that have been this much fun and this action packed is what a great and contained story. This being in the Expanse universe is going to get extra points with me. This being about my favorite character in the Expanse universe is also going to get extra points with me. But besides all the glazing, I do really feel like this is a fun and strong sci-fi story. Um, yeah, I think I want to put this one. I'm gonna put it in A. I really liked this issue. I think this might have been my favorite issue so far. I love Amos Burton. Love me some Amos Burton. But next up, we got The Flash, number 28. This is part of All Fight Month. We got Guy Gardner going against Jay Garrick in this issue. That it's written by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell, with art by Vasco Georgiev, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Buddy Bedoin. Um, yeah, I loved this. You want to know why? Because Guy Gardner was the focal point of it, and we didn't distract too much with the impulse point stuff going on the sideline. I felt like it was peppered in just enough, seeing as this is a main title and has a further story to tell. The only main title it really seems like had the guts to just all the way ignore all the side stuff was Aquaman versus Hawkman. And that's crazy because that was a 2 round issue. All these other ones went for 3. But that's besides the point. Um, this was fun. I mean, I loved it. I love the attitude between these guys. I love that Jay's trying to old fashioned like, they want a game, you see. Well, then we'll give them a game. We'll play checkers. And then I love that Guy Gardner's just a effing idiot and he doesn't know how to play checkers correctly, which is fun poking fun at Guy for being a dummy. But come on, the guy used to be a gym teacher. He worked with kids. I think he knows how to play checkers. Then again, he had the head injury and all that. That's all canon. So, but this basically comes to Guy Gardner just becoming all warrior Guy Gardner from the 90s and blowing the crap out of Jay before Jay gives him like, "Hey, best wishes, man. If anybody can do this, you can, Guy Gardner." And which I love Jay Garrick giving Guy Gardner his flowers because I mean, the old timey guy understanding that the Green Lantern's favorite douchebag really does have it where it counts. Warmed my Guy Gardner fan heart. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you're gonna give Guy Gardner a winning fight and on a Flash title, and yeah, I think we're just gonna put this in S tier just because Guy Gardner's in it and on the cover and he won the fight. Um, no, but no, honestly, I'll give this like a B tier. It was pretty fun. I liked it a lot. It was good. Do you want to give it S tier because it's Guy Gardner, and the tier list is built in his, as a tribute to him. So anyway, let's move on to Green Lantern. Speaking of Green Lanterns, Green Lantern number 30. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Carmine Giandomenico, colors by Romulo Fiardo Jr., and letters by Dave Sharp. And in this issue, it's Hal Jordan side by side with the Batman. And he is trying to get to the bottom of all this weirdness with the Book of Oa. And all the while, I love the dynamic of these two and that they just don't like each other. I think it's great. I think they shouldn't like each other. I love that Batman kind of just, unless it seems like it's John Stewart, just kind of doesn't like Green Lanterns. And Hal and Guy really did a lot of work to make it that way for old Bats. That's for sure. But I really love the dynamic of these two characters. It makes me wish we'd get like a little, 3 issue story arc of these two palling around doing detective stuff. Um, there's a lot of fun, a lot of good dialogue highlights, and on top of just Hal kind of looking for answers to his current problem and enlisting the help of the world's greatest detective. He also is this issue kind of turns into a really cool study of the dynamic of Bruce and Hal and why Bruce feels the way he does and like why he thinks Hal acts out the way he does. I don't know. This was great. I thought this was a near perfect issue of Green Lantern. Just in the way that it didn't deal. I mean, I love the Green Lantern mythos and the lore and all the crazy Guardian, Manhunter, Blackest Night, New Guardian, this and that, and the Volthoom of it all or whatever. Like, I love all that stuff, but just getting down to basic, just Hal and Bruce, two old school heroes, heroing it up in Gotham City. It was great. And just a nice breath of fresh air, right along with the last issue where Hal was hanging out with Ollie, the hard traveling heroes. We need more of this from Hal Jordan. I think this is where Hal belongs. I think we need to give more of a spotlight to Kyle and John up in space and give Guy Gardner a commander role and let the other lanterns grow around that kind of infrastructure and keep Hal on Earth, palling around with the old school Justice Leaguers. I think that's where I think he could do the best character wise in the near future. But anyway, this isn't about what I want from Green Lantern the series. This is about this issue, and this issue I felt was solid A material. Put it right there. There we go. All right. Next up, we have Justice League Unlimited number 14. Another DCKO tie-in. The Terrific 10 Part 3. This is by writer Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora, letters by Ariana Mar, and colors by Tamra Bonvillain. I absolutely love this creative team. Um, yeah, Justice League offshoots in hell. The time lost Justice League and Mister Terrific are in hell, and they're trying to get to the bottom of what's what's going on with Neurons planning, and they're just trying to get through hell at the moment. Basically, they got a lot to sacrifice, making Superman Blue sacrifice his hope, making Mister Terrific sacrifice his capacity and need to play fair, which I'm sure isn't gonna backfire in Neron's face. But doing all this so they can cross the river Styx. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. And again, one of those storylines I think will read better when it's all at one. But these like time lost characters are dropping like flies, and it's hard to care, because they're not gonna last anyway. So yeah, I mean this is whatever. I mean Wade's having fun. This isn't anything too deep. This is just you know superheroes in hell, and yeah. I do want to shout out Dan Mora though. I've been loving the art in this, and I've loved seeing the Dan Mora version of the Swamp Thing Sandman kind of version of hell. Like I can see a lot of that influence coming through in what he's drawing, and yeah, I really like that. But all in all, the Terrific 10 storyline isn't totally grabbing me right now. So I'm just gonna put this one in C tier and we'll move on. Next up, we got the Marvel Winter Break Special #1, with special appearance by the cover that I got, because I mean I wasn't gonna necessarily get this, but then I saw the She-Hulk cover and I was like, that is a adorable and goony, and I gotta have it. And let's see what you know what can I say? An actual story in this comic, check. Um, the silly reasons for people to not have clothes on, check. Fourth wall breaking Gwenpool, using her fourth wall breaking abilities to present us with all the pinups, check. Super fun winter nonsense, check. This was just pure cheese for wintertime. I love holiday books, and this one did not let down. So corny, so fun, and I mean, if Gooner art is really your thing, which it's not totally my thing, but I do appreciate um, this kind of stuff. Doesn't really make me as stoked as I've seen some dudes online. But yeah, if this is your kind of thing, you shouldn't be missing this. A lot of fun, just perfectly serviceable. Did exactly what it intended to do. We'll throw it on the beat here. Not much more to say about it. So let's move on to the next book. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe #5, bringing this excellent mini series to a close. Oh, hold on. I did a disservice to the Marvel Winter Break people. Credits on those. That one was written by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks, with art by Nick Bradshaw, letters by Joe Caramagna, and colors by Rochelle Rosenberg. And a whole lot of artists on pinup. I'm not going to read all that. The main team was right there. Now we'll move on to Predator Kills the Marvel Universe #5. This is written by Benjamin Percy, with pencils by Marcelo Ferreira and Brent Peoples. The ink's done as well by Brent Peoples. Um, let's okay. The credits on this one are written so strange. Let me start over. Written by Benjamin Percy, pencils by Marcelo Ferreira, Brent Peoples, and Daniel Picciotto. Inks by Brent Peoples, Daniel Picciotto, and Jay Leiston, and colors by Frank D'Armata. Letters by Clayton Cowles. Whoa, that was confusing. But big team seems like they were working together to get this out on time, and hats off to you, because I thoroughly enjoyed this. We have kind of our remaining team. Sue Storm is, you know, captive. It seems like she's in control of her situation a little more than the Predator, the Yautja, realize. As well as we have Spider-Man and Wolverine getting together with Tony Stark, and Tony telling him, you need more iron in your diet. And they all get in their vibranium Iron Man suits and start flying around and killing predators. Um, all the while, Craven is betrayed by the Yautja and taken out, and our remaining team help get together with Sue Storm, and they kill all the Yautja, and their head, Graveyard, is his name, right? The head hunter Yautja. Um, all the while, Wakanda has come to New York to aid in this feat, and it's a big coming together of all our surviving heroes as they kick some serious predator butt. This was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and Craven just totally gets betrayed. That his last hunt was this one, it turns out. Yeah, I just love this. I thought it went really well. The only letdown is we've been looking at this Predator X since issue 1, and he doesn't do anything until this very last issue, where he just kind of escapes, setting up a Predator X versus the Marvel Universe next, I guess, which I'm all about. That should be a lot of fun. A Predator with an adamantium skeleton, and maybe a healing factor. That's going to be brutal, and it's going to be a blast to read. This is total kick-ass. This was my favorite little silly versus kills kind of thing of 2025. So I'm gonna throw it in the A tier for sure. Next up, we got Skinbreaker number 4. This is written by Robert Kirkman, with art by David Finch, colors by Annalisa Leone, and letters by Russ Wooten. Um, we have our elder Anak having to challenge. He's being challenged for leadership of the tribe, and he's trying to talk sense into it. He doesn't want to go back to the old ways, but this young man who is the son of a man that Enoch bested when he was younger, or the leadership of the tribe. Um, yeah, wants to go back to the old ways. I mean, this is just top tier art. This is top tier storytelling. I absolutely just thought the action in this issue was fantastic. I felt like it worked on every level. Um, and yeah, I didn't see it coming where a knock just kind of runs away and leaves the skin breaker buried to be found. Um, does that mean that our young antagonist is truly the elder of the tribe? I mean, he didn't defeat Anak. What is this? What does this mean for the future of their tribe? And will it flourish under the old ways? We shall see. Um, yeah, I mean, this is just a top tier book in every regard. It's S tier, and the way it's been going and the way it has been, I'm assuming it's going to be S tier for all 8 or so issues of this. This is next level good. Anyway, next up, we got Superman number 33. Our last issue, or last entry into All Fight Month. Oh, issue works too, I guess. We got Lex Luthor versus the Demon. This is written by Joshua Williamson, with art on this one by Hayden Sherman, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, and letters by Ariana Mar. This was another weird one. I thoroughly enjoyed Williamson making Etrigan rhyme until he was able to take a form in which he didn't, which makes sense. He wasn't always stuck with the curse of being a rhyming demon. Um, and Lex Luthor fighting a demon. This is a lot of fun. I really liked seeing the cutaways to the Fortress of Solitude, dealing with Lois Lane as Superwoman and Superboy Prime, as well as Robot Superman. And I just thought this was cool and fun. And the only thing that really bothered me about it, and maybe it's some deep cut thing that I'm just not familiar with, but Lex taking the form of some guy that's captured in hell and has all these runes over him, well, so he could make the demon Etrigan possess him instead of Jason Blood. Um, I thought was a cool idea, but I just don't understand where we're getting. It's clearly from something I don't, I'm not aware of, or I'm really hoping they just didn't make this up. But yeah, the whole Lex with ritual runes captured in hell was weird and totally Lex Luthor supervillain. Fit within the character. Just the logic of it kind of. I'm gonna be looking for the reference. That's what we'll say. But Hayden Sherman, wow, just absolutely, they are killing it on this issue. They kill it in everything they put the pen to. Let's be real. This was great. Just the detail. I mean, I want to point out little things in the detail. I'm just gonna find the little one and we'll get it big here because there's something I really wanted to point out that I absolutely loved on this cover. You got the demon punching Lex right in the face. And look at the just the subtlety of the fist and the arm, like those small little motion lines that aren't anywhere else. Like I just oh man, that's just anyway. So good, so good. I thoroughly enjoyed this issue, despite the things that I didn't totally understand. Um, regarding the Lex tattoo hell thing. But my boy Etrigan getting some serious time in DCKO is super cool. And Lex Luthor making it further in the tournament is great. Um, yeah, I can't wait to see where we go from here. Yeah, it's an A tier. Put it on A tier. Next up, or last up, I should say, we got the Marvel Knights, The World to Come. This is a story by Joe Quesada and Christopher Priest, where it's written by Christopher Priest with art by Joe Quesada, colors by Richard Isanova, and letters by Richard Starkings and Tyler Smith. The very dense and slightly confusing World to Come series continues on. It is our penultimate issue as we have Katema being an awful, terrible person and an old T'Challa trying to come at him, bro, to fix his mistakes. As well as we find out an old Matt Murdock putting on the suit one last time to go kick T'Challa in the face to stop him for some reason. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to read this one again. I really have been enjoying this. I really liked it, but it's very loose and a little hard to follow. The art in this is next level. Joe Quesada is doing great work. And Christopher Priest, I feel, is absolutely writing all these characters like they just feel so individual, like unique, like character to character feels just so individual and unique. I mean, the guy's just a master. But again, another one of those ones that's probably going to read a lot easier when I can just do it all at once. And yeah, it's just jumping around and the terminology of 7 years before the world to come, 5 years, 30 years after, or, everything's just, it's very dense and messy, but in a very intentful manner. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one its flowers. Although I will admit that I was a little confused, and I'm gonna throw it an 8 here. So let's see. We're gonna do two books of the week this time because we are doing 2 weeks, and luckily the ones I want to pick came out on different weeks. So let's go ahead and let me top here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Absolute Wonder Woman number 15 and Escape number 5. Those are my picks of the week. Two excellent books that y'all should be reading on a monthly basis. This is top tier stuff right here. So thanks for watching, everybody. That's the tier list for this week. Please like and subscribe if you can. Leave a comment below. I always like to hear from people. And I'll be back very soon with our poll previews for all the stuff coming out the first week of January 2026. So thanks for watching. And until next time, keep reading. Take care.